Hedera Hbar. So could we be seeing Cardano joining us? I mean, Charles Hoskinson's, the ADA founder, talks about potentially joining the Decentralized Recovery Alliance. So we're going to take a look at what he has said exactly. We are also going to be taking a look at what Max Walker-Williams has said, as he made a comparison just this morning in relation to Hedera and Microsoft. We have some new numbers for the mainnet as well as the testnet of Hedera. And we're going to be taking a look at Earthlings Lands, which is a Web3 gaming application, just to see some of their behind the scenes footage, as well as Hitachi and the price action for both HBAR coin and Source. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So this is pretty big news. I mean, we already had the announcement of the Decentralized Recovery Alliance between both Hedera and Algorand back in Davos just a few weeks ago, and I thought that was pretty big stuff. But now on a call, we have Charles, who actually wants to be joining the alliance and teaming up with both of these two to solve one of the most pressing issues of the crypto industry. So we're going to take a look at what he was said as somebody asked him this question.
Would be if you would be interested in potentially joining the deREC Alliance together with Hedera and Algorand for decentralized key recovery, and also whether you'd be interested in having a spaces with Dr. Lehman Baird, the chief scientist of Hedera, and whether you'd be open to that. Thanks.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun to talk to Lehman at some point. You know, Hedera community and we've had some friction in the past. Ironically, it was never about the technology. It was just about the intellectual property side of the house. And I was a little miffed that it was all closed source and patented, but they opened that up. And so I don't really have any issues at this juncture. I saw John Woods and Lehman, I think it was in San Moritz right before Davos, announce the decentralized key. And I sent it over to Ramon, my CTO. I said, hey, look into this. It'd be really cool to join. It's a common problem across the entire industry, so there's no reason not to work together, to solve that problem. And I think there's a lot of cool products. In terms, more than happy to talk to Lehman, more than happy to talk to Hashgraph people. Maybe they'll cut it out. They're not as bad as the XRP people, which are at this point they're beyond redemption. I think we can get along with the Hashgraph people just fine, as we do with the Algorand people and many others.
I mean, we do pretty much know his history with Ripple XRP, and he has actually bashed them before in the past. I mean, maybe let bygones be bygones and leave that in the history. But we also know that Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has actually spoken to Lehman Baird, and they have said in a recent interview that maybe they could be partnering up too. So there could be some potential business talks between them. But this could be big. I mean, if Cardano comes along with Algorand and Hedera. Now, the only question remains is what benefits can Charles actually bring to the alliance, and also if the Decentralized Recovery Alliance are actually having a shortfall or deficit in something. And I think that might be the potential way that he could be getting into the alliance. But it does seem like as if Hedera and Algorand are basically running the show, but who knows, maybe Charles might actually be coming on. So we could be seeing the Cardano community integrate as well. So we have from Max Walker-Williams, him basically explaining the comparison between Hedera and Microsoft. Now, he put out this tweet because he basically said that if HBAR had the same market cap as Microsoft, then HBAR would be reaching, I think, roughly around about $90. And right now, Microsoft has a market cap of $3 trillion. So he says here that they're not in different dimensions at all. They are at completely different times in their journey. Context, Hedera is 6 years old. Microsoft is 48 years old. And so it is a bit difficult to say that Microsoft is better than Hedera and Hedera is a weaker one. But you can see over here that Microsoft essentially have 42 years more. So in their second year for Microsoft in 1976, they generated a gross revenue of $16,000. And in their fourth year, they just had 13 employees. And in their eighth year, 1983, they generated $55 million. Adjusted for inflation, that's $132 million. Hedera, the GC, the HBAR Foundation, and Swell Labs are considerably further ahead in every metric: revenue, market cap, employee numbers, customer numbers, use, partnerships, etc. So the real question is, where will Hedera and HBAR be in 2, 5, and 42 years? After that $16,000 that they made back in 1976, just a few years later in 1980, they actually made $8 million. And then 5 years later after that, in 1985, they made $140 million. And of course, if we're going to be having a look at numbers just from last year, back in 2023, it was $211 million in revenue alone. And so, of course, Microsoft have been able to accelerate quite fast. And the revenue numbers for Hedera are not so bad as well. But again, it is difficult to compare compare new technology with a large blue chip company that has been around for so long. On the Hedera Manet and Hedera testnet, we have some numbers. So you have 39.3 billion on the Manet. So we're so close to reaching that 40 billion now. I'd say probably give it 2 weeks until we reach that. And then the Hedera testnet, we are at 3.3 million. And of course, with the testnet, whilst they are not the real world transactions, we don't know what is cooking up behind the scenes. And so that can also go on the Manet as well. From HBAR 1000, we have over here, the Hedera consensus service achieved remarkable growth in 2023. And you'll see over here the active addresses that we have as well as the transactions. And it grew 160% year over year. So massive metrics. I mean, all of this information is actually included within their Q4 of 2023 report. From Hitachi USA, which we know is the new addition to the Global Governing Council for Hedera, we have a few tweets talking about the environment, which we know that Hedera is heavily concerned in. So carbon neutral today, carbon negative tomorrow. Learn how Hitachi is driving green energy innovation and using renewables to support the United States goals. Transforming our world for a carbon neutral future is what we want. As well as this, sustainability does not happen by chance, it's a choice. And for companies to achieve their goals, sustainability must begin at home, which is so true. Sustainability just doesn't happen or just by you wishing that the world was more sustainable. You actually have to be proactive as a business and have all these technologies be implemented so you can make a sustainable future. We also have their first driverless metro in that they're going to be embarking on. And we're just going to take a look at this short clip.
Transportation is about 20% of our carbon footprint. So anything that we can do to ease that is going to be helpful.
HART has a commitment to be sustainable. Skyline can achieve that.
An important goal for us is to use transit as a way that we can shape our urban fabric. We can emphasize transit-oriented development.
Given everything that we went through here, this is about creating hope for our city. That kind of cultural shift from negative to positive, you don't see very often.
Definitely going to be good from the public transport side of things, but also environmentally friendly too. And in terms of Hitachi as well, being the new addition on Hedera's website, you'll see over here that Hitachi sees real world potential in DLT solutions built on Hedera, given the network's highly scalable and secure technology and strong commitment to sustainability. So it goes in part with their mission with Hitachi, and Hedera addresses emerging needs in the supply chain resiliency, clean energy, IT, IoT, and the semiconductor industries, and its unique DLT provides a single truth and tokenization mechanisms for distributed workflows that are needed to address these challenges. And also, DLT is now blossoming into real-world applications at a massive scale, as we know, and it is all about which DLT is going to be coming out on top, as we have many of these good technologies. Before we have a look at the price action for both Source and HBAR, I just want to show you a few clips that we have from Earthlings Lands. Now, I'm not going to be showing you all of the clips, just a few bits and pieces behind the scenes.
And animated and rigger, actually, he does both, showing me what he can do with his rig. Cool, but I like to look at the end result always. And here we see Finn jumping out of a container. I'm not going to tell you why, what, and how about the storyline, but this is of course something for the trader that we're making as well. And as you can see, the doors, they shut again, they close again. No clue why he did that. I imagine that if you jump out of it, the doors will slam open. Like this. I think it's going to be hard to catch as well, because we need. I have some nice fun facts for this as well. Of course, we need to be able to kill it. So let's see what he looks like when it dies. I love this look. Oh dear. He took his last breath and went to shark heaven. Anyway, some other nice fun facts. Look at that.
And so, as always, Earthlings Lands providing us with this behind-the-scenes footage with the gameplay and how they are able to make the movements with the characters and what decisions they make as well. We have Source over here. The price action is at 0.08378. We are up by 0.9% on the one-day chart. So for the volume, we are up by 8.91%, and we're trading at $411,000. So in the earlier hours of the morning, we were trading at 0.08297, we came to a low of 0.08249, but we still didn't break below that 8-cent level, which is pretty good. It is showing strong support for source at this region. So on the 7-day chart, we are down by 5.82%. Now, ever since the 30th of January, which is where we were at 0.09064, we have actually come down. We've not been able to hit 9 cents again. I mean, over here, we actually came down to the mid-range at 0.08579. And you can see for the past few days, we have been pretty much trading below that mid-range of the 8 cents. Again, source is still up though on the 1-month chart, and that is pretty much all what matters. It is up by 15.75%. It is holding very well after the all-time high where it went to 9 cents. Actually, the first all-time high was 7 cents, and then second all-time high was 9 cents we went to. So it is strong, and there's no concern for source's price action. Let's see how it plays out in the next couple of days. If you have a look at the price action for HBAR coin today, we are trading at 0.0696. Now, in the earlier hours in the morning, we were trading at 0.0677. So we've only climbed up ever so slightly. I mean, on the 1-day chart, we're up by 1.4%. On the 1 week, we are down by 5.6%. You'll see over here on the 30th of January, we were trading at 0.0745, so we went below the 7-cent mark. We're still pretty high though, and it looks like as if we could be able to reach 7 cents. On the 1-month chart, we've taken a massive hit. We are down by 17.8%. Where I want to see HBAR coin go is to 7 cents. Let's see if we can find some sort of support first before we head off to the mid-range of 7 cents. Guys, if you want daily Hedera HBAR coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.